Hello friends, once again, and once again here, yes. Let's talk about Gibson Les Pauls, but this time we're talking about the Chibson's Les Paul. Which, as most of you already know, these guitars are Chinese copies of Gibson. And I don't know why they make Chinese copies of Gibson. Seriously, it makes no sense to me. But what does make sense to me is that they're really trying hard to emulate or keep as close as possible that Les Paul formula that so many of us love so very much. Whether it says Gibson or it says whatever the heck it says here, it matters nothing to me. I don't care at all. But what matters to me is that we are reproducing this formula in a way that it does the magic. So let's talk about this guy. So number one, this actually tries to emulate the Gibson Les Paul logo and the headstock. It even says made in the USA. It has a serial number. All of that is crap. I'll figure out a way to make sure that whoever gets this guitar after me doesn't try to cheat and sell it as a Gibson, because that is unfair. But since there's a hype about Chibsons, I wanted to try one. And you know what? I'm actually very impressed. It's not that bad at all. Although there's better options, believe it or not. Right, so starting by the tuners. Complete shit. Excuse my language. Starting by the tuners, complete bad quality tuners, okay? These are not good. They look good, but they're not good. Moving on to the binding. So look, they painted the binding into this like faded yellow, and it looks extremely messy. It's so ugly. I don't know why they did this. The nut is actually a plastic nut, and look what this tuner does. I hope you can pick it up. You hear that? Very bad quality paint job. It's very deceiving on this section right here. I hope the video can show. That's, I think, the most disappointing part about this guitar. The finish details. They're so messy. Fret job is decent. It's not great, but as you play in, it actually wears out very quickly. So yeah, it's gonna be very good very soon, actually. The fret job, yeah, it's okay, it's acceptable, but it's not amazing. The fretboard, it says it is a rosewood, but this wood does not look like rosewood to me. I don't know if this is real rosewood. May or may not be. Moving on to the action. Okay, I didn't talk about the action in the other guitars. The action in this guy, you can make it be nice and slinky and low, but it's fretting a lot right now, and I would have to spend some significant time to make it better. Whereas with all the guitars that I'm playing and showing all the Les Paul copies, it was not the case. So I would say this guy has a quality standard that is medium low, overall. All right, when it comes to like putting all the parts together and making sure that the guitar is a precision instrument, this guy retails for $250 on eBay. So for what you're getting, actually, it's not that bad. Moving on to the pickups, I really like the pickups in this guitar. Really like them. They're very nice, very good. They bite. Yep. They're actually better than the pickups in the Firefly guitar, believe it or not. And hardware Hardware is, I would say, is acceptable, low grade but acceptable. Um, the guitar does it does bite quite a bit. Okay, but it's not the best I've seen, of course. For the price, I believe you get what you pay for. And again, like with that Zoe guitar, I think you get what you pay for mostly in the looks than in the quality of the chassis and the parts overall. Would I recommend this particular Chibson for a modification platform? I would say no, because you would have to change everything except the pickups. The pickups are decent, but you have to change so many things that you would pay more than the value of the guitar. For that matter, you might just buy something that is better made Chibson. Now, here's the thing about Chibsons. This is kind of like my problem with this stuff is that since they're emulating or copying a brand, it's very hard to know who is making these guitars. You know what I mean? There's going to be a bunch of different factories trying to copy Gibson guitars and pretending that they're Gibson guitars. And how do you know? How do you know who's keeping good quality? Let alone, the trademark problem. That they're stealing. They're pretending to be a certain company when they're not. And at least when you buy it, you know what you're buying. I hope you're not being scammed. But the bottom line is that if I tell you, yeah, Chibsons are good, then you probably will buy a Chibson from a factory that will make a bad copy and then think, well, Enzo did not give me good advice. Bottom line is that this can hide under any disguise. Any factory can pretend to be making Gibson guitars and be making good quality and bad quality. This is why it's important I prefer to buy a Firefly guitar over this, or even an ESP guitar, or many other options. Even an Epiphone, of course, you're talking about 3 times the price. But I think it's worth it because you are getting consistent quality. You can depend that the guitar that you're buying from this year, from this manufacturer, is a good quality guitar, and it's going to be that. Whereas, when you buy a counterfeit guitar, you're taking a gamble. And yeah, I don't recommend that. I really just tried this instrument to find out what is the hype all about. And I must say, I wasn't. I think I was lucky because this instrument is not bad. I think I'm getting a little bit more than I pay for. Again, I don't care about the logo and the branding and all that stuff. Some people do. But at the end of the day, really, it's like taking a gamble and not knowing what you are getting. The best thing that I would suggest is like if you buy a Chibson from a manufacturer that is making these copies and does a good job, it's more likely that you will get an acceptable copy next time if you want to buy another one. That being said, I bought two Chibsons. I'm going to show you the next one from the same manufacturer, and the difference is night and day. The two guitars play completely different. And it's literally two different guitars. You know, obviously, they have different specs. The other one that I'm going to show you is a P90 red tiger stripe flame maple top. But yeah, I wish the other guitar, this one was as good as the other one. I'm gonna keep trying to make this one really be good, and maybe I'll keep it, maybe I won't keep it. We'll see. Time will tell. I don't like either to be letting these guitars loose out in the world here in the United States, and some folk might just, you know, be buying something that, thinking that they're buying something else. All right. What else is there to say about this guitar? Is it worth buying? I also like the back has a nice wood grain. Is this guitar worth buying? I would say 70, 30, 70% yes, 30% there's a high chance, a high risk that you're going to get a lemon, a bad guitar. But I think it's worth the risk if you're really looking for something special. This guy, I'm gonna have to probably spend, God knows, maybe $200-300 to make it play. At that point, I'll probably just get the Les Paul Modern and really rock on. All right, I hope this review helps you if you're looking into Chibson guitars. Best regards.